Whoa. Help. Well, there it goes. Alright, I'm refreshing, dude. What the fuck is this? Is that an evil Ryu? I think I saw an evil Ryu. I need this shit quiet as hell. Sakura... I think Sakura is generally seen to not fight the other shadows that well. I don't actually know that. I already slept today. I was at a weird sleep schedule, so I slept really early in order to get, because I got scheduled on normal last day, 9 o'clock to like 5 o'clock. Whew. That early jab DP. I don't understand why that was removed for Street Fighter 5. Oh, mistimed. He could have uppercutted that jump. I think even if she didn't hit a button, the uppercut would have worked. The anti-air jab DP was a really cool idea. You get this fucking jab DP that you can't do anything afterwards. Except another DP in the corner. Which was fun. Jab DP, medium DP in the corner was fun. And then you have, you know, big stuff you can land as an anti-air. You actually can just land an anti-air ultra with Ryu or Evil Ryu. They're ultra ones. It works. It's just the jab anti-air. Jab DP into ultras better because it does more damage. And also it's a lot easier to time. But it's not like super hard to time an anti-air ultra one for either character. You just never ever see it. Because it's literally completely outclassed by another thing. Anyway, they clearly had no problem with anti-air ultra being used. There's a lot of characters with anti-air ultra. There are people upstairs that have a router in the house by a really long Ethernet cable. This is that Vega from the last video. I think his name is Dero, although I can't actually see the Des from Des. Ooh, the counter hit. That was a really, really max range focus attack into a backdash, so he didn't have great follow-ups. Forward dash was ridiculously unsafe there because it was a level 1 focus attack. Level 1 focus into forward dash, even on hit, is like minus. It's like -5. It depends on the character. Vega's got a decent dash. Certain characters have safe ones. On hit it might be safe. On block it's bad though. He didn't know if it would hit or not. It ended up being counter hit, so this won't kill. Didn't even do that much. That dive kick hits on the front, jump medium kick hits on the back. He also had a jump light kick that would have hit on the front that was more ambiguous, which is what he should have done. Okay. That was a well-spaced slide. Ugh. It's like a fucking Chun-Li combo he went for. The stand jab should have been one jab earlier, and then the stand strong would have hit. But you don't even have a good thing to do after that far stand strong. You can do like light axe kick. Or EX Tatsu perhaps. Ooh. Nice conversion. That was reasonably optimal. Dropped the DP at the end, and he went for a low strong instead of a low jab. Ugh. Ugh. When Vega players drop that. It gets kind of picky if you don't have the claw. There's a range where you can have close fierce activate, and if you don't have the claw, low strong won't reach. But usually if you're in the range to get close fierce at all. Ooh, he has a combo. Not like that. That was a waste of meter. He ran all his bar on that one. EX roll on his is +4. You can just blink a low strong. and then you can get an EX off the wall off of that. And ends up doing only barely less damage than the combo he did. No drop? The Zuna drop would have almost killed there. That was definitely the play. That was an error that he got the Flying Barcelona attack. Very strange. Underrated character in 5. I mean, I would say Jury, but I know that's not a popular sentiment. The actual answer is probably... Let me think. It could really be Akuma. I don't think it's Akuma after Evo. I think people generally know that Akuma's pretty good now. Ken is quite underrated. I don't know if Ken's underrated. Like Ken, most people act like Ken's not that hot. And maybe he's not, dude. That was a very strange combo. Should have just gone straight for Stand Fierce after the focus. Most underrated character. I don't know if anyone's really super off their ratings right now. I think people have a generally good idea of how the game's balance is. Almost everyone I think is actually strong, other people think is actually strong, and vice versa. I mean, Ken's better than Ryu, don't get me wrong. It's not like people are out there saying Ken's bottom tier. Most people say he's like mid. Yeah, that's such a shitty reversal. I think it has some invincibility somewhere, but I forget what. But it's so bad. EX flip is so bad. You can hit it, and I think it's not immune to fireballs either. It might only be immune to grabs. You should basically never do that. You should basically never do anything except block as Vega. His best hope was blocking his way out and then jumping off the wall. Or perhaps flying Barcelona, attacking off the wall. I didn't recognize that normal. It's very unusual where I see a Vega normal that I don't fucking recognize. I don't think it was neutral jump fierce. I'm also fairly sure it wasn't neutral jump any kick. Probably neutral jumps. I don't think it was neutral jump strong either. It might have been neutral jump fierce and I just forgot the animation. That's the most likely outcome. Pretty much every time that you would use neutral jump fierce, you use neutral jump roundhouse instead, because it's got a better hitbox. Neutral jump roundhouse is actually a god button for Vega. It's like the secret button. He did it again. What a strange normal. Ugh. Vega had a hard time punishing that. The correct thing to do, since he was already jumping, was to charge down and then do a Flying Barcelona attack to punish. EX Flying Barcelona. It would have caught. But I don't blame him for missing it. He had to do a charge move as soon as he landed. There was no Vega reversal there to hit that, I don't think. I think he had to hold that mix up. You can't do cross up top 10 with the XDP and have it be a 3-block string or anything though, so he wasn't dead. Vega's also actually kind of good at not getting chipped out because of that little backflip. Oh. That's nice. Counter hit step kick into low forward. Step kick's +4 on counter hit, I think. Maybe +5. Ugh. That works. That's actually like a good combo avenue that he did. He just missed it. He had a good opportunity to do it again. Rather than going for like a series of links into a cancel like most characters, Ken actually has a lot of good reasons to do... He missed it again. This Ken needs to clean up that execution. A couple links into something plus frames and then link a DP from there. Most characters don't link into their special moves. Ugh, I don't like that EX Fireball at all. This Ken's playing like a retard. He nearly made the comeback out of sheer luck. He dropped a lot of combos. He would have won easy if he hit up those combos. I like, I like, there's a lot of controversy about Ken's retarded banana hair. But one thing I think is pretty good is his, weird little UFC suit. They did a really good job keeping the spirit of his gi alive, while also, making him look, A, like, more like a modern fighter, and B, different from Ryu. Ooh, that was bad. That's one of Evil Ryu's biggest strengths over regular Ryu. In fact, I would call that the single biggest thing that Evil Ryu has over regular Ryu. His FADC combos from fireballs are a lot stronger. If there is one difference between them where Evil Ryu really shines, it's that. Evil Ryu gets much bigger damage increases off of 2 bars than Ryu does. And when I say much bigger, I mean much bigger, like literally 200 damage more. '27 2017 tier list of this game or Street Fighter 5. Chun's tier is hard to place. We talked about this not too long ago in a previous video. The consensus was she's a fat counterpick for certain characters, and she's okay in others, so she's probably pretty good. There's no matchup she really loses, but she's usually not that good. I like Ultra Double from the Chun. Makes it so he can get an EX lightning legs here. And get big damage. He'll actually win if he gets that. Oh, like here. Ultra. Yeah, that Ultra Double doing work. This will probably kill. Nope, not quite. Iburu's health is actually not that low. It's 950. It was 850 when he was released. And then it was buffed twice. Evil Ryu was balanced around having 850 health, but approximately 0 people played him when he had 850. Fun fact, if he held that focus attack, he would have died. Not only because he wouldn't have had the health to absorb it, and not only because EX breaks armor, but if you FADC, you don't even have armor anyway. He had to backdash, and he still wouldn't have had a punish if he backdashed, so EX Hazanshu was a good play there. Kikosho is not very strong, and it was Ultra Double Kikosho. And also, that's a pretty scaled way of landing it. It's weaker doing that than like EX Lightning Legs, which is how you usually see it. Whoa! That's probably the 3rd best instant ever hit in this game. After Vega Jump Fierce and Yoga Sniper. Ooh. There are technically some better ones, but you don't really see them that much because they're off of shittier. There are instant overheads that are worse, that have better things to do afterwards, such as Jury's Jump Medium Punch and Adon's Neutral Jump Medium Kick. Oh yeah, Seth has one, I guess. Nice. You almost never see that combo. It's not a bad combo. The down towards light kick sets up a dash in air stomps, and you can also do an EX Lightning Legs, which then juggles to Ultra 2 or another dash in EX Lightning Legs. It's actually very hard to do the combo he just did. And it doesn't add a lot of damage per bar, but it's still an okay combo. Akuka. He's probably just high tier. He's like he's generally strong, and people know it. Yeah. Akuma's unlocked when you can actually do the teleport cancel ultra stuff, which most Akuma players can't do. Even like the pro Akuma players don't get most of them. There's some really hard ones. It's not too hard if you're doing it from like a far fierce or even a close fierce. But like if you want to do Stam Roundhouse into a link into Ultra 2, it's crazy difficult. because the most block stun you can, or the most hit stun you can possibly get out of Stem Roundhouse 2 hits is low forward. And low forward teleport cancel Ultra 2 is like very, very, very precise. Rufus never had any players at all. It's not like he really dropped in popularity in Ultra. There were just a couple. There were only ever a couple Rufus players. That might work. Yeah. Ken's EX Fireball is actually extremely fast, and Vega's main concern is making it fully through the Fireball at a range like that. EX was worth it there. EX had substantial damage over heavy. EX flip and heavy flip do almost the same damage, but the way the damage is distributed between the two hits makes EX much better in juggling. Ken is... Most people agree that Ken is like almost top tier in this game, or maybe top tier. Let's tentatively... This is a 45 character game. Let's tentatively say that top tier is the best 10 characters. A lot of people seem to think that Ken is probably either on that or just outside it. I think Ken's like somewhere around like 6 or 7 in the grand scheme of things. As high as 6 or 7, as low as like 15. Ken is somewhere between those two. The thing about light to EX is normally you can't even do light to heavy. But that was a case where he had light to heavy available. But EX was still absolutely worth it. Light to EX is almost always worth it because there's no alternative. Whew. Oh, that should have killed. Chun-Li still picked it up. He had to hit a 1-frame link in order to close out the round because he started with jabs. He either had to burn a bar or hit a 1-frame link. He went the 1-frame link route. That's kind of nice. That's a double overhead in this game. In Street Fighter 5, it's an overhead then a mid. Same with that. If she delays that jump fierce, she can do a crutch short as soon as she lands. And one is an overhead into a low, the other is an overhead into an overhead. And they're pretty much unreactable. So it's basically a nice little 50-50 Chun-Li gets. Don't think there's a kill here. I'm pretty sure that Chun-Li can juggle that into super, but it's bad. And he just went for the chip out super, which is much better. The super probably wouldn't have even killed in the context where he like had the opportunity to use it on the juggle. The super Chun-Li super is not designed to juggle at all, but it can get some hits. Chun-Li super is 2 frames. The medium one is 1 frame. I didn't believe that for a little while because it didn't punish some -1 stuff, but it does punish some other -1 stuff. Range wasn't the limiting factor. Chun-Li super breaks the rules of the game. Go test it at home. Bison's light scissor kick is -1 and Chun-Li's medium super will punish it, but not the other 2 versions of Chun-Li super. Thus confirming that Chun-Li medium super is 1 frame faster and also will punish 1 frame things. However, you cannot use any version of Chun-Li super to punish Rufus's Galactic Tornado, which is -1. And you can also test that Rufus's Galactic Tornado is -1 because you can punish it with 720s. Very unusual. Yeah, most of Vega's ability to make his own opportunities is off of the car throw, which for the record is a good car throw. But his 50-50, his frame trap game versus his car throw game, like his frame traps aren't that good. You can use low forward to get confirms off of people trying to tech throws. And that's basically the entire, that's the entire basis of his pressure. Close forward for counter hits, or low forward for not even needing counter hits. And then, car throw to make people actually tech throws. Otherwise, you just gotta play a whiff punishing game. All charged characters have frame traps that suffer in this game. There's a lot of inherent charge off of walk-up buttons in Street Fighter V. That's one thing it actually did rather nicely. Most every charge character has that. You have it an okay amount in this game. Chun-Li basically doesn't have it, but she has other things she can do with like lightning legs instead. Nice, got the link. Had to burn 2 bars to kill there. Can you focus punish Chun Sweep? Yes. If you absorb it with a focus attack, you can punish her. You can actually just punish it on block, but she has to be somewhat close to you, or you need to have a character with really good punishing options. Yeah. He did that like a frame early. If he delayed it even a little bit, he would have gotten more hits, and it would have killed. That was nice anti-air. Anti-air stand medium kick probably would have been better, but Sakura's jump tatsu is kind of wacky. So, I don't know. Maybe it would have hit. Really, really strange things happen to Sakura's jumping her box during her jump tatsu. Same with all shadows, actually. So certain things that would anti-air just don't. What is this outfit? Is this like Halloween? I wonder if Goku knows who Sakura is, and vice versa. They'd probably fall in love with each other in like 1 second. They're both all about what the other one is. Sakura is like a super, super bright student with like a warrior spirit. And like a bunch of natural talent. And an eagerness to learn, and like she's a good person. Goken's all about all those things. And then Goken's like an ancient master and like intimate knowledge of Ryu. Does Goken have a bigger dick than Ryu? Yes. I have no idea. Ah, shit. He tried to walk in and then saw he wasn't gonna get close enough in time to do EX, or to do close fierce. And he just went straight for the... He had no like cancel there, so he just went straight for the EX Senku, and it was still too slow. He had to do some dashes. Crouch fierce might also have been good. Walk in, crouch fierce into EX Senku. Goken's neutral in general is kind of bad once you understand him. It's only good if your character... He has good fireballs, but that's where it starts and stops. We don't know that Ryu isn't Takuma's son, for what it's worth. That's not ever been dispelled in the games. Mm. I think a reset was the play there, but that combo was pretty nice. He got counter hit light Senpu and Senpu Kyaku. Shunpu Kyaku? He didn't do anything. Counter hit that into close fierce is like a 5-frame link. I'm not joking. You can hit the button like a frame early. It's normally a 2-frame link. And he hit it on the early end, but because it was counter hit, he had 3 extra frames. Yeah, that was the play. Sakura probably could have EXDP'd that, but it probably wouldn't have paid off. Force the opponent, get to endgame with a big life lead, and you can force the opponent to have to burn meter to not die, and get easy wins like that. There are certain setups that aren't that good for killing the opponent, but like they're good enough. They're like the opponent just has to not burn meter. The opponent has to burn meter to like not die, and a lot of people aren't going to be willing to burn those bars. That was just completely mistimed. He jumped like he was trying to do the stomp, and then he did jump fierce. I think it might be mentioned in one of the alpha games. I forget Ryu's entire parental situation. I think he's an orphan. But I forget why I think that. The evil Ken color. This color is a reference to Ken's secret color in Street Fighter 3. Which in and of itself is a reference to, I think SVC Chaos. Siren House Hard Tatsu. That was the right punish. Ken technically has more optimal stuff, but it's kind of hard. The thing is, you can do low strong, low fierce, but it's 1 frame, and also it makes one of the hits of Hard Tatsu whiff. So it doesn't actually increase your damage, I don't think. Nice. It's a very tiny buff, that EX Firewall. Sakura's EX Fireball was basically useless until Ultra. Odd combo. There's something secret that Ken's stand light kick does, close light kick, but I forget what. Far light kick is generally useless. You can whiff it to make sweeps whiff if you're like Momochi. And you can also whiff it to get people, antsy people to jump in like fireball scenarios or endgame. It's a good button to whiff without to make yourself look busy when you're not actually busy, when you're being patient. Ooh. Ken anti-air, but like Ken's got some of the best anti-air in the game, so like why would you just do stand light kick? I'm doing A-okay. Ken has the fastest EX Fireball of all Shadows. It's only barely faster than Ryu's, but it is faster. It's kind of weird that these two are friends. I mean, Sakura is very friendly and Blanka is very friendly, so it's not weird that they're friends in that sense. It's kind of weird that these two know each other. On screen's a million times better if you ask me. The pressure of someone, you can rely on the pressure. A lot of people make decisions without regard to their stun bar. Like a good player will make decisions without regard to their stun bar. Or a good player will know when they're almost stunned and make decisions based on it to like not get stunned. But a bad player won't, and you won't be able to tell like whether someone's one or the other. Like yeah, you can make a guess based on their other skills. Obviously, it's good to fucking do some stuff that's safer, like that helps you not get dizzy. But it's hard to predict around it and make those hard reads based on that. If you don't know, they might just like make some really ridiculous decision. When the dizzy bars are on screen, like in Street Fighter V and Street Fighter 3, you can have complete and total faith that the opponent will be making decisions in regard to that dizzy bar. Now the decisions, it's still a mix-up, because they might make some anti-meta decisions, but at the very least it makes them easier to predict. It's more fun to lay the pressure, knowing the opponent can, it's more fun to lay the pressure knowing the opponent's in a stressful situation. It's hard to explain. You want to know something really weird? Look up the height of fucking people from the Netherlands. People in the Netherlands are weirdly tall compared to everyone else in the world. The average height in the Netherlands is like 6 feet. 6 feet, half an inch or something like that. And that's like men and women. No, dropping links. I think the stand jab after the close forward is 2 frames. He drops it twice in a row. That close medium kick is unthrowable. So you can get it's like a faster guile upside down kick. So it gives the opponent less time to commit, but it also is a lot easier to set up. Like it's literally as easy as walking close medium kick. Fun fact about the Netherlands, Dutch is the closest related language to English that's not like English. I found that out recently. Dutch is like a sister language to English. Nice combo. This is that fat counterpick. This is a very bad matchup. Blanka, despite not being that good of a character, absolutely dominates here. Blanka's biggest weakness is that a lot of characters can just punish him for things that are kind of supposed to be safe, which got a bit better in Ultra. And T-Hawk's biggest weakness is that he is unable to punish anything. It's not like mega horrible, but it might be a real 7-3. It got better in Ultra. It used to be worse than it is now. He didn't even Ultra. It's good that he didn't. There probably isn't a real Native American anywhere in the world who's as tall as T-Hawk. I get they want to make a new grappler, and I get they wanted to make a fucking Native American character. But the way they went about it is kind of strange. Nice. T-Hawk could have punished that with walk-in sweep, I think. He hicks that ball. Light Blanka ball is fully unpunishable. Heavy Blanka ball is actually punishable now. T-Hawk can always punish it. The big thing is that T-Hawk can't punish EX ball, which some characters can, some characters can't. But those are fully safe. But it's not free for Blanka because it's like you can't just use Light Ball. Light Ball generally won't do anything. Having charge and being in range where Light Ball works is kind of hard. And if you're that close, you might get punished by, like, or you might get thrown. Hit a backdash. See, this is a situation where Blanka's not even any better than any other character. Ah, oh, drop the anti-air. Nice combo. Nice. No charge, so no punish. Blanka has not that many inherent charge combos, which is frustrating. Nice. That was actually a really good punish. And then he didn't dash. Whew. Cross-up ball. Those are unsafe. Nice. That was pretty good. He got a bunch of nice stuff in a row. Cross-up ball is hard to play around. I've blocked them. They're really risky. Cross-up ball lands a lot closer than regular blocked Blanka ball. But it's also a kind of an unseeable mix-up. And people don't go for it that often. So it's kind of hard to plan around. Parries Goken's follow-up with the least ground recovery. So he whiffed it to get out of the corner. Yeah. I don't like that demon flip. I think it's always better to go for a hard Senku there rather than nothing. And then a hard Tatsu if you want. That was a punish. Goken's EX Tatsu is like 4 frames or something. It's quite fast. He has very shitty combos from lights though. His most frame advantage light is +3. And his fastest light is 3 frames. So technically you can use that most frame advantage light, which I think is crouch jab, and then link it into another, I don't remember what the 3 frame is. It's either stand jab or crouch jab. And then you can do a light Senku from there. Not until, I don't think it was till Ultra that he even had a special move that comboed from lights. Which is one of the reasons his, one of the reasons he was kind of an eternal low tier. Is that he lacks some kind of very basic things that other characters have. Goken's like longest light combos were like low short, low jab, like low jab, or stand jab, low short. It was something like that. He could get like five normal light strings, but there was no special move. So they ended up doing really shitty low damage. Compare with Ken where he can get low short, low jab, low forward, like fucking hard DP or something, hard Tatsu. And then he gets better damage and a knockdown. Better boost. The EX Tatsu has a good amount of invincibility, and you can FADC it too, but the hitbox is a little bit picky, and it is very fucking unsafe on block. Skoken's playing this endgame pretty well. Oh, there it goes. Success rate of that far EX fireball is not very good. If they're not already doing something, they can just get out of the way fairly easily. And there aren't that many things that Goken was reasonably going to do at that range where that was the punish. Hitting the startup of any fireball, or any part of medium or hard fireball, were what he was hoping for, and that's what he got. Alex is like 6'5", isn't he? Alex is like pretty tall. Hard DP without FADC meter. I think Ken's low short is +2 on hit. So you've got to link into a jab if you want to link, is that a punish? He did it so confidently. I didn't think it was. He got reversal timing too. You might need to stand block if you want that punish. He crouch blocked. Stand block leaves you a little bit closer. It's actually an extremely good anti-air normal. It doesn't look great, but Relento's entire upper body disappears when he hits it. So it's quite reliable. It's a little bit precise to time because it's a kind of fast normal, and you don't actually want it to be fast because it doesn't have that many active frames, and it doesn't lose its upper body until you hit it. So you have to hit it like early enough that you lose your upper body and don't get hit, but then late enough that you'll still anti-air the opponent, which ends up being like a 2 or 3 from window. It's kind of a hard anti-air normal to use. Mel. Mel is very young. They need to make a game set in the pretty far future. That jump fierce is the Colleen jump roundhouse of this game. There we have pretty good footage of it doing exactly what it does. Blanka's pretty wacky to footsie, but his footsies aren't that good when you actually understand. Auto-age him like Ed. Ed, they had a little bit of a storyline reason to age him. I mean, I'm down for Ed. I mean, for Mel. If they added Mel, I wouldn't be pissed or anything. They should reveal Mel has progeria. Progeria doesn't actually make you age fast or anything. It just gives you some features that are commonly associated with old people. Such as gray hair that falls out, I think. Time travel Mel, like literally Trunks. Ryu, I brought you back these pills. Very tricky. That was a good ambiguous cross-up, which ended up not crossing up. It wasn't a good way to combo on the landing there. This is Ultra Double Ken. Kinda like that. Ultra Double Ken is not bad. Ken has radically different ways of landing his 2 Ultras. So picking Ultra Double, 1, convinces opponents. It still gives you like strong combos and like a strong anti-air. But then it also can like shut down the opponent's fireball game. And that can be worth the damage cut. A lot of people don't like the stand of EX Tatsu, leaving the opponent standing. It's like +1, and Ken has a 3-frame normal. But it kind of leaves you in a kind of grimy scenario. Like even being +1 point blank against like a Zangief or something is not that good. It's basically 100% up to the Ken. EX Tatsu. The thing is, EX Tatsu is not even like significantly stronger than Uppercut if it's not getting all its hits, and it has a very big tendency of losing its first hit, except in very specific scenarios. There's something big I'm forgetting. Why you don't combo into EX Tatsu. There's some additional component to it. I mean, you still do it. It's still like as good as DP. It's better in a lot of scenarios. If you're getting like a max range low forward, EX Tatsu will always hit, and hard DP will often not hit, and render you very unsafe. The manga about little girls playing fighting games. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I haven't read any new manga recently at all. Except JoJo. Fully up to date on JoJo. EX Tatsu does not hit crouching. Unlike Ken, and I mean unlike every other Shoto. Ken is literally the only Shoto in the whole game. Dan's bullshit hits crouching if you consider him. Goken's hits crouching, Sakura's hits crouching, Ryu's, evil Ryu's, and Akuma's all hit crouching. But Ken has to force stand. But Ken has like okay force stand, so it's not a huge issue. Someday we'll get there. John had a decent opportunity of landing Ultra 1 there. And there too. He might have lost charge somewhere in that mess. Definitely after blocking the meaty Blanka ball, Ultra 1 was the punish. For sure. Now he's in a really bad situation. That was like an early jump strong. Looked really weird. Chun-Li's not a counter pick for Blanka, but she's not a good matchup for him. Just like 6'4" Chun-Li. Chun-Li has good punishing ability, which Blanka hates. Light Ball is still safe against Chun now. In older versions it wasn't, but now it is, I think. But she can punish like Medium Ball and maybe EX Ball. Flame Trap. And she can punish Up Ball. She can do like walk-in back medium kick, or like walk-in sweep. And she can use Ultra 1 on everything, like everything. That being said, she has to be mindful that the Ultra 1 hits after Blanka lands, or else it becomes unsafe on hit. I like kind of changed my tune about Infinite. I watched some footage of Infinite, it looked kind of fun. I thought it would just be a tamer MVC3 again, but the tag combos are actually like way different. And when I saw the tag combos being used, I was like, this game is actually going to be really crazy once we see it. Right now we have very, very shitty versions of what the game... It's clear that the potential is much higher than we're seeing. I think Blanka's... Excuse me, minus after that. EX up ball, FADC dash in. Don't know that for sure though. Pretty sure Chun-Li's crouch short and or crouch jabber 3-frame. He might have had an Ultra 2 there. He lost the head of the EX legs, but I think it still works. Nice. I'm curious about Infinite. And the sterility of it actually makes me more likely to actually try it. I actually like a sterile fighting game, to be 100% honest. It depends. I don't like set play, and I don't like games where you can have like a ridiculous number of setups. Like Versus has too many setups. Street Fighter 4 is a decent like stick for like how much grime I like. There's some. It's not without grime. There's not that much grime in Street Fighter 3. Most of the grime is like Oro. Infinite, I don't think Infinite will be sterile per se, but it can only like the scaling is going to be a big thing. It's going to prevent the game from being like one mix up then you die. I know. That was the medium headbutt, which does a little bit of stun. And by a little bit, I mean like 500. The hard headbutt does 650, I think. Dude. He had to make ham plays, but that was like too ham too fast. He was trying not to die to a meaty EX hand. It was literally a 50-50 that had zero risk for Geef. I think that's probably true. We can watch some Infinite if you guys are down. You guys want to see some Infinite? I can give you my opinion. He went for the headbutt. Chun-Li's air throw was a lot faster. I saw the start for the headbutt though. This matchup is often seen as a counter pick. It's like not good. It's in Chun-Li's favor, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Ultra changed a lot about it. Geef's footsies are worse than Chun-Li's, but he's more explosive. He needs few opportunities to keep up. Very optimal jump and punish. Chun-Li's still in this. One EX legs will kill. EX legs is not super hard to confirm. Ooh, nice combo. Whiff punish would have killed. Unfort. I don't like anti-air focus there. He had other buttons. He could have anti-air with sweep there maybe. Probably stand forward. What the fuck? Keep got hit crouching. Didn't do anything in response to that jump. Chun-Li is like the fucking third most reactable jump in the whole game. Or second. I think it's second. I think it's Dalsum then her. Ugh. Jump light kick probably would have hit for Chun-Li there, but she would have had to hit it kind of high. And then early jump light kick is hard to combo out of on the ground. He could have gotten like 360s for his troubles. Like it might have been a punish 360 is what I'm saying. On and on a hit move. SPD is really fast in this game. Ooh, the punish on the instant overhead. That was such a good read to neutral jump there from the Geef player. But he didn't headbutt. Uh-oh. Whoa. He didn't have the meter for the red focus. The red focus would have killed. Glad he didn't EX legs off of that Sandstrong, because the Sandstrong had airborne. Chun-Li would have died if she EX legged. Ugh, I don't like that jump. This is kind of bad for Chun. There it is. That was nice. Ch when you're at chip health like that, when Geef wasn't at chip health, um, it was like a probably like a 7-3 at that point. This outfit's cute. Is this Halloween? This is a really cute outfit. Uh-oh. She looks like Dark Magician Girl. That nothing, that whole bunch of nothing, it telegraphed him too much. He should have gone for a meaty jump. It was better than a car throw. And he could have like salvaged it into a car throw if he wanted to. I don't like the way this Ken plays at all. I don't think he's that good. Oh, no combo. That was kind of a step kick. You can link a DP there. DP would have punished that, I think. I don't know. It was like pretty well spaced. EX drill is about as easy to space as light drill. They actually have similar frame data if I recall. Like on block frame data. That might not have comboed. In fact, there's a pretty good chance that didn't combo. It didn't. Ken could have mashed a DP or an ultra. Rose had to use a different drill strength, maybe medium. EX would have worked for sure. He used hard, and hard wasn't fast enough from that range. I was trying to hard drill normally combos, but only barely. That didn't combo either. I played a lot of this matchup. Ken versus Rose. One of my friends plays Rose. Played. Very spooky costume. Daijobu. That's what that one quote said. That means, are you okay? Basically. It doesn't translate super well. Are you okay is a decent translation. But you can hear it. She says it during her throw animation. Are you alright? Like that. It's like the English translation. Daijobu ite. Like that in Japanese. Fighting game character should I draw? Let me think hard about that one. Duck King. Draw Duck King. Duck King, dude. I don't think even on counter hit, the strong was strong as a combo. But he got the counter hit on the second hit. The strong is a very good button. They're trying to emulate Alpha 2, in which the strong is also a very good button. Street Fighter 4, you can say some good things about it, you can say some bad things about it. One thing it did really well is preserving the spirit of each character that came into it. For the most part. Like, I would say that Makoto's spirit was not preserved at all. At least until maybe Ultra. Probably Ibuki too, actually. Um, but they tended to take characters from the best version of whatever game they were in. Like most characters play like their defining game. Rose's good buttons are based around Alpha 2. Ken's like target combo. Ken's basic version is based around third strike. Ryu's basic version is based around like Street Fighter 2. Stuff like that. Gen was pretty different. If they brought in Gen's chaining from Alpha, he probably would have broken the game. But I like the way they used the TCs to kind of like emulate the chaining a little bit. That was a hilariously bad wall jump. The optimal punish should have been EX, or it would have been Ultra 1. Evil Ryu has a lot of the Alpha Ryu tools, like that towards medium kick. I feel like there's at least one other thing, but I can't think of it. What if Ryu in Street Fighter 5 had a red fireball with half circle forward punch? I really like Akuma's fireball in Street Fighter 5. It knocks down from close and doesn't knock down from far away. But like you have strings that'll have the close version or the far away version. You have like a decent amount of choice on which one you use in a combo. Akuma's pushback was very well done. Different normals will always, like, stand strong will push away a lot. Stand forward will push away almost not at all. Low strong will push away somewhat. You can plan around it. I already slept. I already slept and woke up. I had an early night last night because I'm working today in about 3 hours, 4 hours. 3 hours. We actually finished Sonic Adventure 2. I'm probably gonna go back and do like more Emblem stuff. But the game is beaten. That's the nice thing about Street Fighter 5, I mean 4, is that you can have characters from, like, you know, various matchups. And it'll look a little bit like the matchup from that game, generally. The Dark Chow has not evolved yet. I might open up Sonic Adventure 2 and just do some Emblem stuff. I need to waste some time. I don't really care what I'm doing. I was probably going to open Cyrillin, which I've never played. Cyrillin is it's a spiritual successor to Dragon Warrior Monsters that some random guy made on Steam. Some random team. The guy really liked, he played Dragon Warrior Monsters as a kid, and he really liked it, and he was sad that there were so few games that did that, so he made his own game that did that. and it's called Cerulean. That's pretty much all I know about it. It said it's a spiritual successor to the Dragon Warrior Monsters series. I think I was going to do Infinite. I think that was my plan. Anyway, there's a Cerulean and a Cerulean 2, and I recently picked up both of them. They were pretty cheap. So, I'll probably play that pretty soon. Catch some monsters, breed some monsters. I like monster games a lot. When's the Puzzle and Dragon playthrough? I like time sink games, that's the truth. Any game you can pour a lot of time into. Kind of surprised you went for that combo. Ultra 2 might have gone under there, so I understand why you didn't do that. Uh-oh. Pokemon Prism, that's a thing. In Dragon Warrior Monsters, you breed the monsters with each other, not with yourself. This Keef's name is really fucking weird. It's like Ba Be Ba 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 Be Bo. I can't tell it's Boz, it could be Pause. The text is really tiny. Gen 2 hack with up to Gen 6 Pokemon, that's ridiculous. Girls are confirmed. The only ones I'm dead sure are going to be in the game because I know exactly how their personalities would be are the Snail and the Brain in a Vat. The Brain in a Vat will be a very sad character. If you like tragedies, you'll like her. Oh, he got Farfierce. He's glad that killed, I bet. He definitely wanted Close Fierce there. But you could do a Micro Walk. You can also do a Crutch Fierce. Both of those would have circumvented that. They don't have to be organic per se. The game will naturally feature some degree of decision making. That was like a failed OS. Why at level 2? It would have done more damage with just the Ultra by itself. That was like a really subtle mistake. He lowered his own damage. It actually wasn't a mistake there, I take it all back. If he did raw Ultra, he would have gotten no meter build, but he did level 2 focus into Ultra, which gave him a little bit of meter. Technically speaking, what he did was barely more optimal than just punishing with Ultra. But it had a good chance of making that combo not kill. I mean, technically 0 chance, but you know. I have my doubts that he knows the damage of Ultra 2 after a level 2 focus. At the fucking percentage of Ultra that he was at. And was like, oh, this will still kill from this evil Ryu health. It only barely killed. Ooh. An alien girl. I don't want to say no, because that sounds pretty funny. Like an alien trying really bad to be a human. We had an idea like that. Roll 63 but fail. That will probably not be in the game. There will probably be nothing fighting game related in the game at all. There will not be a soft girl, I don't think. I'm not gonna say no to like furry slash kimono Mimi characters. But I'm gonna avoid them. Or like I'm not gonna do it in a very traditional way. The snail is a fairly good example of that. Uh-oh. A girl that's literally just a skeleton is an okay one. That was one of the ones we played with too. That was on the list. Shred wasn't even there. I don't want to have anything overtly gross, but I also don't want to have anything that could be mistaken as sexual. I shouldn't say mistaken as sexual. I don't want to have something that even hits anyone's fetish buttons. Sadly, that fireball, it's kind of a shitty scenario after that. That fireball, you need to do the fireball that early in order to catch a quick stand to get the meaty pressure and chip, and it's good. But if they don't quick stand the fireball whiffs, then you can't do a new fireball. Because the previous fireball's still on the screen. It's supposed to be a Monster Girl game, but none of the sexy Monster Girls. That's the whole idea. It's supposed to miss the point of Monster Girls. The snail's an ordinary snail. It can be looted. It's just going to take significant alterations to the design. No punish on the X-Bird. I think reversal Nightbreaker would have worked. It needs to be funny. You know what I mean? If you draw a skeleton in a lewd pose, it's like still not sexy for most people. Like if you saw fucking Rule 34 of the skeleton, it needs to be like it could literally have porn of the characters in the game without pushing it to like a mature rating. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know what a snail sex organ looks like. I could fucking show, like fucking, I don't know, the fucking sex hole of the snail girl, and it like wouldn't even be like rated mature. You know what I mean? It's too far away. You could show the skeleton like full on in like a presenting kind of pose, naked, and it wouldn't be rated mature. You get what I'm saying? If there is, I haven't decided whether it's gonna have H game stuff. It'd be pretty funny. But yes, it would be 100% accurate. One of the repeated jokes with the snail would be that she is organically, literally a snail. She is just a very large snail. The brain in a vat is hooked up to a computer, so the computer would probably just show like an ASCII vagina. I don't know if that would push it to M or not. But like a good example of one of the snail girl won't be able to see very well. For example, she'll have like light sensitive organs rather than eyes. I'm not really sure if snails can hear, but she'll be able to hear, and she'll be able to talk out of convenience. Tapeworm girl, something like that was suggested. The brain in a vat will have literally no sensory input whatsoever. She'll probably be able to hear, but she'll have no eyes at all. She'll only know about things if they're specifically keyed into her fucking computer, or like spoken to her. Oh no, the video ended. Let me find some NBCI.